dead in the center of that road from Razor Hill all the way up to Ogrimmar. I'm like, ugh.
And then a scorpion comes.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's the
What's up,
worst
Santa?
part. Is every once in a while I would just cross the road and you'd be like,
Yeah.
what?
Well, all those mobs are yellow now. Like, they don't attack
Yeah.
you. So it's like, okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Here's a random question. Okay, and by the way, I switched it to the after show. I'm just going to keep letting it run. I'm not going to bother with this
Oh, that
spiel.
freaked me out. Your arm coming onto the screen, I didn't see your arm move, so I thought it was someone else's arm scratching your hair.
Wow. Yes, I have an invisible girlfriend. She's hot
my.
as shit.
Did you play WoW?
Yes. You know what? Okay, this is completely off what I was going to say because I already forgot what I was going to say. Turn into brash here. But I wanted to say this and I thought it was too cheesy and I'm just going to say it in front of everybody is
Perfect
that
time.
I hope that I find somebody that I care about and like want to be with the way you and Ankill did, Sev, cuz like just like something like I don't know, it's just like having that really like something you both play and like I don't know, I want that you meet somebody over WoW. Obviously like it sounds really lame when I say it, but I don't know, I just want she plays invisible WoW. That's totally what she does. I don't know, that's what I hope for.
Maybe you'll find a super awesome podcasting girl.
Yeah, maybe. Hey,
She'll be into like the microphone and have a good microphone and everything.
that large horn that enters.
Hey,
But-
it's after show. I don't have to like stay on mute anymore.
That is true.
Welcome.
I can't remember what I was gonna ask though. Damn, I was gonna ask some shit. Okay, here's a random question. I know, okay, so we know Brash's favorite dungeon is Steam Vaults.
It's anything in Burning Crusade,
Anything in Burning Crusade, okay.
basically.
Sev T, can you be a little bit more specific than everything in Burning
Does it
Crusade?
have to be a 5-man?
For now, and then we can go to raid.
Oh, I don't know. My favorite 5-man.
And this can include like remakes and stuff. Because remakes are so good. Oh, that's awesome, Zano.
Maybe Shadow Fang Keep.
Oh,
Mm.
interesting.
I like Shadow
Okay.
Fang Keep.
And what about it do you like?
I like the ambiance. You know, I'm an undead, and
Mm-hmm.
it really resonates with me to be in a place with like zombies and crap, or ghosts and werewolves. I guess now in this case, but
That one also felt like you were actually pillaging and attacking a castle.
yeah, it was very immersive.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I did some roleplay there. Not gonna lie.
You
And
don't.
it's also really, you know what else is awesome? When you jump on the roof and you can dump out of the instance.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
And it'll port you
My
out.
favorite
Yep.
favorite was in vanilla when you jumped over the wall. You actually went back into Silver Pine where you
Mhm.
jumped over the wall, so you
Yes.
could then fall to your death. and
Oh, it doesn't happen anymore?
No, it now puts you
Oh.
out the instance line.
Oh, that's the only way I know is just it puts you like beside the castle where you landed and you took damage and it was like this in the crack.
It was way
Um,
better then, but
That's
it,
how-
it really was.
Oh, speaking. Okay, so
Icky?
we saw this we saw this video like Brash and I. It was like a dev from a con. I think it was release of it was this con. I think release of WoD, and one of the devs like somebody asked like, oh, are you planning on doing like any like bringing old content and having that in its own servers like vanilla private servers or whatever, but they're actual servers.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the guy was just like he's like basically saying no, you think you want that but you don't, and he was like,
Well, that's because no, I'm gonna be honest. We don't realize just how broken vanilla was.
yeah, but
Like-
there's so many people playing those private servers, they clearly
But they-
enjoy it.
No, but they don't want to acknowledge those are there, and I wonder
That's true, yeah.
how many of them are actually truly the vanilla patches and not the ones that have had made the few the vast quality of life changes that have come along.
and how
with, you
active
know-
are the players and how long do they play?
Well,
know.
it does depend on the server, but
Mhm.
based on when we were playing like pretty heavy for a good week or so, and it just seemed like people like enjoyed it. People were PvPing, people were actually like end game raiding and stuff, like killing bosses, and I don't know, it just seemed like people enjoyed it, and a lot of people seemed to, some of the people, well, not a lot of people, but some of the people we talked to seemed to be like vanilla players, and like people have been playing WoW for a while, or have even played WoD and stuff, and they're going back to these vanilla servers, and I don't know, I don't know how, maybe I don't know how much they actually want them. Like maybe they don't really want them that much. They just want a place to go to like bitch about WoW. I don't even know, but
Well, I'll put it. Go for it.
I was gonna say. I'll also say, suddenly you're now having to maintain, multiple variations of the game as well.
Yeah,
Now,
branches, yeah.
but Blizzard's really, really good about literally keeping the servers up of their games until they just physically that no one is playing it anymore. Like D2 servers lasted until after D3 launched.
Are they down now?
I believe
I think they might still be up.
The ones hosted by Blizzard are down. You can still play
Oh.
D2,
Yeah.
but Blizzard no longer hosts the D2 servers. Just like BattleNet for StarCraft and Warcraft 2. Those servers are finally down. But I mean, they lasted forever.
Well, this is why I had the idea of like there's a buff, and my idea was like basically there's a vendor and he sells you a vanilla ice cream, and it makes you go into vanilla mode, right? And there's all these achievements based on it, and when you have the vanilla mode buff, you basically become really, really, really underpowered, and you have to go do dungeons and stuff, and like, your level cap goes to 60. You basically just as close to vanilla as possible, but still on a live server, and then. Yeah, that's it, basically. And the buff, you can just click it off if you don't want to play that anymore. And then Twiz can go and do, like, all the achievements.
Yeah, it's just what Twiz needs. More achievements to get thousands of
Yeah.
achievement points ahead of me.
I wanted to also say, though, like, when I played the private server, vanilla, and we played a pretty good one that was not buggy and stuff. The game is brutal. Like, it is broken, it is brutal, but the satisfaction from doing anything is 1,000 times. Like it is so much fun. It's immersive. You're like, you have to run places, and it takes like 2 hours, and you're like, huh? It's a pain in the ass, but it's also like when you make it there, it's satisfying. And it's not instant gratification. You don't get a level for it. You don't get epics for it. You did it. There's no achievement. And it's fun. I don't know.
I'd love to get epics for just running from point A to point B.
It is so hard in vanilla to run somewhere. It would be an epic in live WoW if it was
Dude,
that hard.
no, I
awesome.
am well versed. I remember Travel Form when it was 30% movement speed, having to run from Ogrimmar to Ungoro Crater. I remember
wow.
that run.
Yep.
That was awful.
Yeah.
The only other thing about private servers is that, once you hit level cap or whatever, where do you go from there?
you do
can
the
be
content.
completionist. Yeah, you can do other stuff, but in the end, it's not an evolving game anymore. Because the thing about an
Yeah.
MMO is that it's constantly growing and changing and evolving with the community and with the game itself. In private servers, you lose that. So I think that maybe that's another part of why Blizzard wouldn't get into it, would be because it's completely changing the nature
Yeah.
of their intended game.
That's true.
Well, they would have to do the buff thing, or like some sort of
Yeah.
modified, but still be live WoW, like
Well,
retail WoW.
We'd get
I
another
think-
gravestone for raid D tier.
I know that
Second.
it's just limited to 5-mans, but I mean, I think the Time Walker thing that they're working on for Time Walker holidays for
Yeah.
for 6.2, I think that might help it a bit. Like, I don't know, that there was a blue post saying that we're never going to get back to the having to have, CC on every character for, that first Heroic Magister's Terrace run. But, they're going to try to get to as close to that as possible with that tuning, which, that could make it where that appeases some of those people that are like, I want to go back to Burning Crusade.
Yeah.
And when I was talking about that guy, I'm not expecting. I guess it was just the way the dude came off. Came off really, like he just didn't. He was I don't know, he came off as a dick pretty much, but like I don't expect Blizz to have to do that like at all. I just like I wish there's, and I understand that it's like copyright and stuff, but I wish there was just a little bit more a little less hate on the private servers, because like Brash said, it was hella fun. Like it was a whole new experience for me too. So it was like that plus doing all this stuff and actually getting gratification from doing a quest, like one quest, and you're like, wow, that was awesome, you know, like, and you don't get that, and I didn't ever really get that. So it was just like, I don't know, I enjoyed it, and
You kind of want some acknowledgement and validation for what you enjoy.
Yeah.
But I think probably
what I
part of
said.
the problem too is that, you know, these devs, no matter what their personal opinion is, they're constantly inundated by these kinds of questions, and then their hands are completely tied by the TOS and,
Yeah.
you know, whatever the bigwigs say for them to say.
Oh yeah, I get it.
Well, all they need to say is like, we appreciate that you like harder content and blah blah blah.
That's true.
But you know, that's not where we're going or whatever.
Well,
but
let's okay. You say that now. Let me. That's all Blizzard ever says, and we all know how well that goes for them.
well, it's better though than this video that Ruler's talking about. That he kind of rubbed it in their face. That he's like, you don't want this.
No,
Like, really
there-
like snarky.
There are a few of the devs that they can get fairly snarky, like Celestial Talon or Celeste Talon, whatever.
Oh,
the
yeah.
actual. For a very long time, everyone thought he was a gigantic douchebag.
Mhm.
Even
Still.
Honlika, whatever, or Holinka, the PvP dev that everybody tweets at, you know, there's, and I think most of it is, and when Ghostcrawler was the one who was in charge of it all, like whoever happens to be the public face of Blizzard always ends up being painted as a dick, and they now admit most of the time they don't help themselves, but.
I feel like Blizzard, at one time before the buyout of Activision or whatever, they knew what they were doing and they knew how to build like amazing games that people could not stop playing 24/7. Like you could play like all their games, right? And then sometime down the line, they started listening to either the shareholders or the community or something way too much, and have made some weird decisions. And that's my take on it.
All I have to say is. B3, B4 Reaper of Souls.
Yes,
It's
that
kind
made
of-
me cry. Like
It is-
literally
it
cry.
It is the embodiment of what you're talking about.
Oh, and that was all after the buyout, right? Like
Yeah.
that, none of that would have happened. That D3 would have been D2 on crack without that, I think. But it
No, I
became this
agree.
monster. It became actually the test. It was the test of how much can we get away with, and can we incorporate this into WoW and get away with it and make a lot of money.
And then it failed
Resounding
absolutely
no.
miserably.
It's good. Someone had to do that, you know, like someone in the game industry had to make the auction house and have it fail, so then no one would do it again.
It's true.
It shouldn't have been
Now-
Blizzard. Blizzard's way smarter than that, but no.
Right, but that being said, Blizzard was also it's probably a good thing that it was Blizzard, because if it had been like a new company, or I mean, Blizzard wasn't going to go bottom up if D3
Yeah.
failed.
Yeah, that's a good point. And no one would have cared if it was a small company. It'd be like, oh, it's just
Right.
because it's a small company.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The only
It
other
needed to
one
be-
that might have done it would have been BioWare.
Yeah.
Right.
So I just put in chat. That's the link to the video I was talking about. If anybody
Let's
wants
see
to.
who this is.
It's.
'Cause
I'm pretty sure you know who it is.
I was like, I'm pretty sure I know who it is.
'Cause I really don't like him. I've never liked that dev ever. He just always is like has that douchebaggy look to his face that I just want to
Yeah.
punch.
Yeah, no. So
got that sort of
so
face.
Him and the guy sitting next to him, their job is to tell people no. That like that's what they're there for. Like,
Right.
I'm convinced that is their sole job responsibility.
Yeah, it was just like I was just taken back by it, because I was just like, wow, like I didn't expect that kind of reaction to that. Like I would have, it felt unprofessional of them to
Very, yeah.
say how he said it. It was just like, whoa.
Yep.
But yeah, that was a bit, yeah. So yeah, That's how I feel. I have the feelings.
Cool story,
Um,
bro.
I know, right?
Story.
So it sucks that Sub T didn't play vanilla because I really wanted, for whatever reason, I really want to talk about ZA and ZG, but we'll find somebody.
I know all
Okay.
about ZA.
Oh, okay. For the record, Brash, you're right. ZG, the original ZG,
Okay.
I enjoyed that zone.
Yeah.
The remake of ZG could go die in a fucking fire.
I wish it was a raid remake. Oh my god, I wanted to
didn't-
do ZG so bad.
I didn't really do the remake, so I don't even
Remake.
know.
Yeah, we did
Remake
ZA
makes
a
me
lot.
want to punch myself in the face. I hate
Okay.
the remake. I guess that's because like Tiger Boss and Bat Boss were my favorite ones of ZG, and they were the two they cut.
Oh,
Weird. I thought they had all of their bosses there because there
No.
was a lot of bosses in that dungeon.
No. Bat Boss was gone. They revamped Snake Boss, and then they turned Tiger Boss into Panther Boss, and they were not the same. Because
there was
Tiger,
a lot of bosses in the original.
right. The Tiger Boss, you had to kill the humanoid version of the boss and the tigers at the same time to trigger the second phase, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't.
It was
remember.
one of those original like timing bosses.
So, Seb, you said you know about ZA, like original ZA?
Yeah, that was in
That
Burning
was
Crusade.
Burning Crusade.
Oh, weird. I keep thinking that it was.
Was
in-
that the same
in Vanilla?
patches?
But then I
Sunwell?
realized that it's in
Yes.
Ghostlands. So obviously
Was it?
it's.
No,
I'm trying to remember if it
don't
was
really know.
someone as Sunwell, if it was the.
I think
either
it was
the one
before.
I was like,
I
was
think
either the
you're
one
right, yeah.
before Sunwell, or was that like tied over? No, it had to have been the tie over one because
I think it was. Now that you mention it.
because I remember the week we were going our own saviors was finally able to do the bear run was the week they did the wrath talents and removed the bear.
Right.
Aw,
So, okay, so.
I barely missed the bear.
I
Oh man,
barely missed
Viz
it.
got it instead of me.
QQ.
That dick.
So, okay, so let's talk about ZA, because I know I've done the dungeon. I've obviously not done the raid when it was a raid. But what are some of the, like, okay, first of all, what are some of the differences between the old and new that I may not know about?
Totems on Link boss? You used to have the tanks on the Link's boss used to have to stack on each other
Okay.
to split a hateful strike.
Oh, okay. But basically, obviously, there's one tank in the
Right.
dungeon, so that's obviously gone.
Eagle boss is completely new.
Oh,
Yeah,
Right.
what was the boss there? On the raid, like I'm all mixed
I'm so
up which one's
exhausted,
which.
so I really don't remember either.
It was
Yeah.
well,
it
there's
was a bird boss of some variety, and I remember that, but I
There's
don't
a fi-
remember.
No, the Firehawk boss is still there.
Right, but
Yeah.
the mechanics of the Firehawk boss changed.
Yeah, you had the guys killing the eggs.
Well, basically ZA was like you go to we go to the left and there's like a bird boss that does that arcing lightning thing, and you have to go underneath the person that gets lightning. And
Yeah,
then-
no, that was super advanced. That
advanced
those-
tactics. Must
that
click.
mechanic would never have happened in Burning Crusade.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like ZA feels the same. The remake feels pretty similar to the original, in my
Yeah.
opinion. ZG, I guess, is not the case. I don't
Yeah,
know.
no, it was that one was starkly different. I guess ZA was it was close enough that it kind of felt the same. I just
Yeah.
remember Hexlord. Hexlord was one of my favorite boss fights
Oh,
from
definitely.
ZA. Hexlord was awesome.
Oh yeah, but that he. Oh, wasn't there a boss in the middle in the original ZA?
No,
No, weird.
no.
Thought there was. Okay, so and
Well,
I'm
where
ass-
was Hakar?
He wasn't in ZA.
Oh, ZA.
Hakar-
Oh, I thought you were talking about ZG. Sorry.
Yeah, no. Hakar was the boss in the middle. In,
Yeah.
yeah,
ZG.
yeah.
The ZG has a dear place in my my heart. I don't know why I said it like that. It's really cheesy, but like
Super
it's
cheese.
where they like my my raid leader or whatever like let me tank for the first time, and like I tanked it on Brash, and I don't know. So like I learned all my tanking skills like there. So yeah, that's why. And like every fight I loved in there. I don't know. It's great.
No, the original ZG was a lot of fun. I remember fishing up the Hydra
Yeah.
that first time. That was, I think, the first time the raid that I was doing it with did it. No one knew that that's what that was, so somebody fished it up on accident.
That's awesome.
There was so many bosses in that place. There was like the Edge of Madness, and like I feel like there was 10 more bosses than on like live now.
Yeah,
But
no,
I'm not sure.
they definitely knocked the number of bosses down. I know-
Gigantic. I never really ran it, but
And Hakar was like iconic.
Yeah, and I
Just the
feel
way
that
he looked and stuff.
I feel that fight they changed that fight.
Oh yeah, because it's not Hakar anymore. It's like that spirit guy.
Right.
And yeah, it's like completely different. I don't remember exactly. Well, the mechanics weren't too involved. Like you had to go get a mob from down the stairs and do something, and then yeah, I don't know.
Right. And then I distinctly remember you had to have your tanks got mind controlled, and they had to do something special so that you couldn't cleanse the debuff off of them, because if you did, then when they got
Yep.
mind controlled, they healed Hakar.
Something like that. Yep.
Hey, look, it's the GIF.
Wow, that really long delay. Yeah.
No, I
well,
just finally looked at the screen again. I've been
Right.
playing D3. Like you kicked it over the after show, and I was like, hey, I can take it off mute. I don't have to pay attention to chat. I can actually play D3.
well,
We
let's
talk about D3.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, let's talk about D3. I know Sev, were you into D3 when it first came out? Like, did you play it a lot?
oh, I totally was.
Okay, because like
As a witch doctor.
I wasn't.
Her and I played quite a bit together.
Yeah, because I wasn't really in Monkey. I didn't like. I was in the clan, but I didn't really know anybody. I only knew Joel and Large kinda, and that was it. So I didn't know anybody in there. So, so have you like? I know last night, or was it last night? Whatever, last night.
Yes. Yes, it
You
was
came
yesterday.
and you came. You got like quickly leveled and stuff. What about D3 really like? How do I word words?
Appealed to me.
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know where else you're going. Well,
To satisfy you deeply.
oh, so deeply.
Mm.
And that rain of frogs, deep satisfaction.
Ah.
But I like the aesthetic, which is funny considering I said that I didn't like the grungy aesthetic of Blackrock, but I like the demony aesthetic of this.
Oh no, I feel it's a completely different feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Warcraft is way too cartoony to have the kind of deep, gritty feel that
Yes. You know,
D3
that's
has.
probably what it is.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I like that, and I never played D2, so...
Ooh, that's a shame.
Me either.
That is
Yeah.
a shame.
But
It's a
so
shame.
it was actually a completely new game style for me. I'd never
Yeah.
played that kind of game.
Right.
So it was refreshing and different and a lot of fun. And I like that the maps kind of change. And I liked fighting lots of mobs at once, and I like when they surprise me, because even though I make very embarrassing squeaking noises, it's a lot of fun.
But see, what I think is funny is she's never played D2, so she never really truly understands truly randomized maps. Rifts are great, but they're not D2. D2, every map was random.
Yeah. Yeah.
None of the maps were the same.
I like
Interesting.
Well,
hearing
D2
about-
was like darker also in its aesthetic. Like D3 had a lot of
Yeah.
like rainbows and like that sort of color scheme, whereas
Well-
D2 was straight up you're in hell, like
right.
kind of deal.
I don't think, like,
That might have been a
Act
graphics
2
thing.
was the only time where I felt you were actually out when the sun was up.
Hmm.
Yeah. And that's only because you were in a desert, and the sun being up is also sweltering heat. and
Right.
hellish.
Well, there's a period in Act 2 where there isn't. It's like there's this artificial like darkness, but
yeah.
like the rest of D2, you're literally, I swear it's nighttime. Like
Mhm.
Yeah.
even when you're in Pandemonium
Gotham City.
Fortress, it's nighttime.
So what was your first was Witch Doctor your first choice when you first started playing? Yeah.
Yep.
Is it similar to a shaman?
Yep.
Surprise, surprise. Reminds
Yep.
me of somebody named Kiwi.
And it's just the pets. I love my puppies and Mr. Wibbles and
Wibbles.
and the grabby hands. from
Okay,
the
I have to know.
ground.
Is that what you call your gargantuan?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're
Now
Wibbles.
I'm less confused. I'm just sitting here like, what is she talking about?
I know. I thought she was talking about her dogs originally, and I was like,
Like,
okay,
that's
The
what I
dogs
thought.
and puppies.
okay.
And then she was like, her puppies. I'm like, I suddenly have no idea what she's talking about.
He comes up out of the ground and he lumbers around all
He kind of
lovely.
wiggles, yeah.
Yeah, he's so sweet. I love him. And my little fetishes that pop up out of the ground and go.
I was like, whoa, that's not where I thought
They're
you were
so
going with
amazing.
that.
Now, I will point out those fetishes, least favorite mob from D2. Those things can go die in a fucking fire.
Oh.
Oh yeah, they're so fast and weird and,
And
oh my god.
annoying as
Yeah.
hell.
I love them all popping up behind me and running around with me, and then they fall over and drop their little knife.
And then it didn't help that I played Barb. That's like all I played in D2. And like those little fetish things, well, you're leveling up the first time because you don't have Whirlwind yet. Oh my god, they're annoying.
Yeah. I was pretty newbie in D2, so I had a barb, but it was terrible. Wow. All my classes were terrible. I didn't know how to play. The game was really hard.
It was.
So-
It was. And if you had no idea what you were doing, you were boned.
So
I
you
put
were
every point into strength, so I had like no survivability. I could equip everything,
good
but
job.
that was bad. It was
Good
really bad.
job.
Yep.
So you're a barb in D2 and D3.
Well, I actually my first character in D2 was a paladin. I was like a hammered in or whatever.
Okay.
Actually, no, I was a zealot, like a fast attacking one, which sucked.
Yeah, they did.
Then I had a druid, and then I don't think I made the barb until like later. I don't know.
Interesting, but you always go back, or you always go to like that warrior.
You don't understand,
Esque.
man.
Warrior
You're
began.
not there yet. You don't get it. Like that.
I'm enjoying barb like in
Oh
D3.
my god. So well, but you didn't get to play. Okay, so Brash, do you remember the level 60 truly like whirlwind build?
Kind of, yeah, and you had all
Where
the
you-
shouts and stuff.
Where you used your shouts, you whirlwind, and you sprinted. You used the rune
Right.
on whirlwind to let you move at your normal movement speed, and then you used sprint to and that's what actually did the tornadoes, and you just went nuts everywhere.
Yeah.
Like that is what playing a Fury Warrior should feel like.
Yeah. That would be cool, actually. Revamp Whirlwind and make it like a Diablo Whirlwind. Oh my god. Just the graphic, just make it look like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be sweet.
I was gonna say though, I didn't get on the melee train until like the warrior / barb / non-magic melee until Burning Crusade. Like I was a hunter in vanilla and something just clicked, and like from that day on I've just loved melee, and that's it. I don't know. Don't know why.
Yeah.
I feel like the skill cap is higher with melee generally, so
Especially in Diablos.
Yeah.
Like you got to be like, don't get me wrong, like the ranged classes, you got to be good at avoiding stuff because you're more of a glass cannon, but
Mhm.
you know, you're only really watching out. You can build to glass cannon to kill stuff before it gets to you. You can't do that with the melee classes.
No.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And that's one thing that I'm finding difficult with D3 is like, obviously I haven't played it as much as I've played WoW, and I've only recently learned a ton of shit in WoW and how to play a melee and stuff. But like trying to relearn it in D3 I'm finding it a bit more difficult just because there's so many things you can do, like re-rolling, all that stuff. And like when I was playing my monk at the time, I knew what I was doing with my monk, and now playing a barb, I actually prefer the barb just because it just feels more fun. But like I feel like such a friggin' noob, even in melee, just in general. I'm just like and I'm pretty squishy, and it's just like, oh, it's like I don't know where to even go, and I know I could look up stuff just like everybody else, but I don't know. I just don't really want to do that anymore.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna look up anything for my witch doctor. as much as I know a billion things have changed, I'm just gonna start off with my old keybind setup and see where it goes.
Yeah. And I think
Well,
it's more fun that way.
I kind of do the same thing with every game and class and stuff. I like play them and like try to figure it out as best as I can, and then I start to like understand things, and then at that point I'll look up stuff
Once
little
you hit a
bit.
plateau.
Yeah. Then I can like read what they're saying and like take it and apply my own like theorycraft kind of to it and do my own build.
Exactly.
I don't like just doing a build that I find on Google because it's like I don't really know why I'm playing like this. Like I want to know what the bad builds are first. I want to go through that process of sucking, I guess, because you have to really be good.
Yeah, to learn from your mistakes and stuff.
Understand why something is bad.
Yeah, it's all about understanding and stuff. And like I remember when I first understood how to do like AoE on my DK, my mind was like exploded, and I was so happy, you know. And when you get to that point, it's just like
Pretty satisfying.
it is really satisfying, and you could see it. Like it actually worked, and I was like, damn, like I actually learned something that was useful for once. And it's like I hope I get to that point in D3, because like Amanda, just like you, like even Large and like Joel, they all like know all the names of everything, and they know when something's good or bad, and it's just like, wow. I'm just
So there, when we were playing it, when Joel, Amanda, and I were playing it all the time, because we were just done with Siege. Like, we couldn't do it. Like, even Joel and I couldn't do it anymore. That's what we do. We'd queue up, we'd do rifts, we'd play, and the whole point was to guess. You know, people would get legendaries, and you'd link the legendary, and you'd guess. The first one to guess the legendary is the one who, you know,
Wins.
Right.
That's
like
awesome.
that's what you do.
Yeah.
So you got really good at being like, oh no, it's this one. So like I'm sitting here and like the new items, I'm like, I don't like, ooh, that's like, it's even better because I'm like, oh, I've never seen this thing before. What does it do?
yeah.
We just
Actually-
feel like
Sorry, go.
feel like how new WoW players feel when they try to play with us. It's
Yeah.
the thing.
That's true.
Oh, that's something. Yeah, like
Yeah, because like
I can't
Tankia
even-
asks me questions and stuff, and it's like, oh, I guess I am like a
You
decent
just take that
DK.
knowledge for granted now.
Yeah, I guess so. Would make
Yep,
me
that's
feel
how it goes.
shitty about myself.
It's not a bad thing.
no, it's not a
necessarily.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah,
You're knowledgeable.
that's yeah.
Actually, I was gonna say, like the last like 3 or 4 Chromogs, you've beat me every time.
I know.
On
It's so
DPS.
satisfying.
And in my head, I'm like, oh, I wanted to say it, but I'm like, officially, you're like as good as me at AOE. Like, I wanted to say that, and I didn't want to say it like that, like as good
No,
as me. But
no, I
like,
know.
you know what I mean? Because that's how you'd want to hear it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like there was you have improved a lot with AOE. It's funny, but
Yeah, because I mean, like, it sucks. Operator's probably, like, Thogar is probably the one that it's like, I'm never gonna beat you, but, like, I strive so hard to beat
Now
you.
I don't understand that. Like maybe it's
I
because we're not
don't
getting to
either.
the second split anymore.
Yeah, I think it is.
I think that's what's doing it.
Yeah,
like,
because the second split, like, actually Brash brings it up, is like, all of a sudden I'll jump up 10k.
yeah.
well, let's be honest. It's because suddenly you have a whole set of ads, and you're like the only one AOEing on them.
Yeah.
I think the key is if you want to win that fight, you got to go on Joel's side and then put me on Large's side.
Yeah, okay. I'll get
Well,
right
no,
on
'cause,
that.
like on that split, the only one we get anymore. There's only like there's the boss and then like 9 ads, and like that's it.
It's 15. It either spawns 5 or 15. That's I think. I'm pretty sure.
Well, then it's 5 because it's only it's half a train.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's
Okay,
only
maybe
that
I'm
first
wrong.
split's only half a train.
Okay. Yeah, on Joel's side we get like 5 every time. Like, I don't even use Bladestorm. I just save it.
I just save it. I
just
don't
save
even,
it.
I just don't even Bladestorm. I can't. Okay, I'm better than everybody because I don't Bladestorm. You can't see it, but it's there.
Oh, delay.
I can't grab it. There it is. There we go.
Oh
Da-na-na-na.
my.
Oh, I see. That was delayed. I get it.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
wow.
I'm
It's-
sorry. I was like, you're like, you can't see it. I'm like, oh, that's right, delay. And then I turned and I watched, and I saw you doing your hand motions that you were doing initially, and I'm like, oh my god.
Lol. But
Oh.
yeah, no, it's. I know I don't like. I just don't know even how to beat you. Like because of that, because we don't get that second split. There's nothing. There's no buffer for me anymore. So it's like I don't know.
I have to
No, I don't
cover
know.
that gif up.
What?
I'm too tired. It's gonna make me nauseous.
Oh, the
Like I started to like kind of move in circles over here. I don't think anybody saw it, but I was feeling it.
I think we should
Okay.
figure out how to make me in the middle, like top down, but then the entire stream spin, but me stay still.
Oh
Oh
god.
man.
Well, that would just fuck everybody up. Oh my god. But yeah. So anyway, I'm really liking D3 right now. Like being able to play with people and stuff. Like I mean, I don't want to be carried all the time. Like I was doing stuff by myself and whatnot, but like because it
It's
does
so
get
hard.
because it does get boring after a while getting carried. But like
Right. No, I mean,
at the
I
same
understand.
time, it's
I-
like it's almost worth it because you get the gear and then you can kind of actually do stuff. You know, it's hard to
Right.
know.
I'm getting to that point now where I'm like, I don't really want to be carried, but I don't like I can't get the good stuff by myself still. Like I'm
Mhm.
at that awkward. I can handle the top torment level,
You're a teenager.
right? Like I'm there, but I'm not quite. And like even like we were doing what 31, like 21 and 31 riffs,
Mhm.
and Amanda was or hips and lips, fridge, whatever you want to call her, was one-shotting things
Yeah.
still.
I
And
know.
it's like, well, I have no idea if I'm doing okay because
Yeah.
there's nothing to make it like to test it.
That's
Well,
why
that's
I didn't
the-
even equip any of my abilities or anything because I was like, what's the point? I'm not gonna
Yeah.
know what's any better.
Well, no, like, but and then I mean, I did my first solo rift on my seasonal Crusader just before the raid.
Mhm.
Like,
Oh wow.
it was the very first one. I had no idea how it was gonna go.
Did
Yeah.
it go well?
Yeah, no, it went fine. Like I got up
Good.
to, I think I cleared a 27 by myself.
Wow, I didn't even get up that far. I went up to 15, and like I think I could have kept going a little bit, but it would have taken a little longer. But yeah, I got up to 15.
I feel they made them easier. Like,
Right.
like I remember clearing a 23 on my barb, and I was really happy when I did that by myself.
Right.
Hmm. Well, Crusader's way better than Barb. Cough, cough.
Well, that may be true, but I had the cold leapquake, and I was essentially in best in slot for the cold leapquake build, and I was really happy. Like when I stopped playing, the best barbs were like 34. Was
Yeah.
the high that was number one on the Rift. It was a 34 for the leaderboard. So,
Well, Leapquake isn't even that good. It's not bad,
no,
but
like right, it was the Furious Charge build, the Lightning Furious Charge build is what everybody ended up using.
yeah, it was. I don't know. The game is weird. Like I don't know if you guys agree, but like I find that, you have enough gear to destroy things, and you do things, or you don't. Like it's very much. There's very little. I want to say very little skill or something involved, especially with like multiplayer. Like you have like Amanda, right, and she's one-shotting everything, and you're like, okay, so what am I really doing? I'm just following her around. Like I don't know.
Right.
If she gets hit, she gets one shot. So like I just don't. It's like I'm missing something. I feel like in Diablo 2 it wasn't really like that. Like you could have a party of 8 people and you were killing stuff, and killing Diablo would take like at least like a minute, right? And people all took damage a little bit, and you had to survive or you had to dodge stuff, and it was just a little more like skill based. And I don't
No,
know.
I mean, but I think the difference there is P6 is that fixed difficulty. We were running with essentially someone who was in the best gear you were going to get in D2, and then they were like level 99. Because even when you were level 99 in D2, the only things you had to worry about was the immune to that was your build.
Yeah.
Um,
And getting to level 99 took years.
Right. No, it took ages.
Yeah. Like my
Right.
highest level was like level 70 or something.
Right. But I mean that was essentially the kind of player we were running with, just with the they were one-shotting everything. But
Well, I understand that, but like on my barb, on my main barb, I can do T6 and basically take no damage and I just kill stuff. But like
right. Okay. Well, how high up are you on the rifts though? Because I'll
I've
tell
never
you
done
what,
one.
a tier 43 rift made me want to cry.
Well, that's not what I mean. What I mean is I wouldn't be able to do it, but it's because of my gear, right? Which is fine, and that's completely understandable. It's an RPG, right? But it's kind of like how much gear dependent is it? It feels like it's 99% gear and build dependent. I don't
No,
know.
I would
It's-
argue that's
it
the
sounds
way
like-
D3 or D2 and the Diablo world has always been.
That's
It's
true,
always been
yeah.
gear.
Yeah.
It sounds like as you progress through the rifts, it shifts. So like earlier on in the rifts, it'll be more skill dependent than gear dependent because, your gear will be fine. And then later on, there's a point where it just flips, and now all of a sudden, you don't have the gear, you're screwed.
Hmm.
That's what it sounds like. I have no idea because I haven't actually played in like a year.
Yeah,
But-
same. Like I haven't done the whole rift thing, so I have no idea what this even about. I've done the first rifts when there was no ranks to them. You just did a rift, period.
Yeah.
Yeah, you haven't done the
Same.
greater rifts. I did a solo greater rift today, the first time.
Yeah.
So,
I guess what I'm getting at is I feel like solo is decent. Like solo because you actually have to worry about your toughness and staying alive and whatnot. But maybe it's the party play that I'm not really super fond of because it feels broken all the time. Unless you have all exactly the same tier of gear, it's like one person's doing all the damage.
Yeah, now that's fair. I'm
Right.
I'm okay with that sentiment.
Okay.
You really need to be playing with people who are right at about where you're at.
Yeah. Because me and Ruler would play, and we play every game together, right? And I had just slightly better gear than him, and like he would always say, like he kind of felt like he wasn't doing any damage, and he was, but it was also like I would say he was, but I always have that feeling, and then if I was behind, I'd feel like I wasn't doing any damage because I'd just be like waiting for the other person to kill, right? I don't know. Maybe the game isn't for me. I'm not sure.
well, I think
it's-
I think the issue is that you are normally a group player. You like to do
Yes.
things in groups. And because the group thing actually feels broken in Diablo, you feel like you have to play solo, but you don't really enjoy it that much because it's solo. So I think
Yeah.
you're almost conflicted in what you like to do and what is beneficial to you in the game.
Yeah,
So
totally. Yeah,
and that's probably where the issue.
yeah, it's weird.
But
Because
yeah.
I've actually had a fair amount of fun. I've been going into like the random queue and just playing like T1 with random people, and they seem like to be similar level to me, like gear wise and stuff. So it actually seems like a game to I don't know.
Okay. I didn't even know about the random queue thing.
Yeah, you can join a public game. I know that they the group finder tends to aim people of similar paragons together,
Hmm.
and by doing that, you tend to get people with the same kind of gear together.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That makes
That
sense.
makes yeah. I think like if me, you, Brash, and like Sev were to do some stuff together, I do have a little bit more gear, but I don't honestly. I'm so squishy that I don't even think it's gonna matter that much. But I think if we all played, it would be pretty. It wouldn't be so bad
You'd be
because
surprised. Considering I only played last night for an hour, I'm pretty sure you'll be carrying me.
I have an hour on Sev, and I have like 3 legendaries, and yeah, so
yeah,
and you have a little bit more than that. So I don't know.
yeah. Well, I guess it depends on what difficulty we do. Because like on T6, like I still can't do shit. I can do a T1 normal rift, okay, like that's fine, but like I probably can't do like T3 or 4. Okay.
Well, it's funny because I remember when we did T6 like with our first characters, right?
Yeah.
Like a year ago or whatever. And remember how long it took to get to T6? Like we weren't even doing T6 when we quit.
No.
I can survive T6 already on my Crusader.
Oh,
Yeah. I can't kill anything, but it's like I can
Crusaders
kill
are
someone.
overpowered.
Yeah,
They
it's
just
weird.
are.
It's weird.
yeah, because I definitely can. I can charge into something and die instantly, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, let's see.
Yeah.
Send Mr.
I
Wibbles
wish
and I can run.
I wish there was a way to like actually see stats easily when you're inspecting people. You just can't, though.
Yeah.
Well, I think on that note, we shall end this podcast, mainly because it looks like Seb's gonna die, and I'm getting
I'm
pretty
losing
tired.
it.
So, I want to thank everybody for watching. Really appreciate it. You know the deal. All of the plugs are there on stream, so go check them out. Thanks, Sebty, for coming and staying up and
Making
spending
lots of hearts all around.
and spending time with us. We really appreciate it. And hope we get you back in again at some point in the future. We'll just like
Maybe you're
Sev will be our
curious.
default if I forget to get a guest. We'll just bring in Sev or Large or Ankel even. I don't even know if he's still here. His
Oh,
mic's
he's
been.
long asleep.
Oh,
He
okay.
went. He has work in the morning.
Oh yeah, Stickler.
In a
I
way,
have
I
work
do
in
too.
the morning.
Me and Brash don't.
Lucky fucks.
Yeah. But any hoodle, yeah, so thank you all for coming out, and we will be back next week. So come back for that.
Night.
Night.
Yeah.